I'm Elliot and I love to build and create things. One of those things is Elite Creativity, which I started in 2018. Today I'm 17 and I have never been so busy before. We're about to take some huge risks and leaps and create a truly remarkable legacy that will change the world. I hope to take you guys on this journey with me as a source of either information or inspiration. So to start off with, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself and my background. Growing up, I was always super quiet and in many respects introvert, but because of my introversy, this meant that I was always a bit of a dreamer and in my own bubble from pretty much day one. Little did I know that this would actually be a superpower of mine, as it would allow me to create a world that had never been seen before. But outside of school, I've always been really active, and so I used to play roller hockey. But in 2015, I had my first setback. This gave me an opportunity to see things from a different kind of angle. So when I came back to the club, I created my first business plan at the age of just 14 with the club chairman, who was in many respects my first mentor. We then rebranded a roller disco and really transformed the club. So we went from this to this. So in November 2017, my curiosity really started. And so I started to really develop. Little did I know, the skill that I was learning at the time was actually called marketing. I had no idea what this word was. I had no idea what the word an entrepreneur was. I didn't even know that was a thing. But so I made this sort of plan. It was just my name at the time, but it's now called Elite Creativity. 2018, when I left school with sort of fairly average grades, I knew one thing. I knew I wanted to get straight to work. So during that summer of 2018, when everyone was out partying because they had finished and left school, I was in and I was constantly researching and developing my own brand, which little did I know, that was just the start of something massive that would totally change my life and the life of others forever. Within 2 weeks of that summer holiday, I got through to the final stages of an Apple event up in Exeter. Unfortunately, I didn't make it, but little did I know, the lesson that I learnt here was truly valuable and would shape the rest of my life forever. I learnt rejection is just redirection, and that you had to get 1,000 no's before the right yes. This was a very natural and organic process in the way that Elite Creativity was birthed. So throughout those 2 months, I went back to my plan that I created in November of the previous year and turned that into a website. But when creating it, I realised that I wanted to go for the big time and really see what this was capable of. And so on the 4th of August 2018, Elite Creativity website launched. Fundamentally, we specialise in all things digital marketing, from website design to influencer, social media, branding, and any similar creative production. As cliche as it sounds, we've got some truly innovative ideas in the making that we believe are going to totally transform and disrupt this way this industry works. This is the age of the creatives. With the rise of social media and the mobile phone, the unthinkable can happen. In that September of 2018, I started my apprenticeship. But then I realised that this wasn't really for me. So then I looked at my mood board and looked at the likes of Apple, Coldplay, Gymshark, and millions of others, and thought, why can't I start now? If I'm young, if I'm still under 18, that means I haven't really got any serious liabilities. So I was able to kind of take risks and be bold, and if failure did come, then it would be fine, because I was at the bottom anyway, right? In January this year of 2019, we mutually agreed to drop out and focus full-time on my entrepreneurial ambitions. So currently we are going into the next phase of the business, and that phase is taking place because we're expanding at such an exciting rate that we're about to get more people in and more similar like-minded ambitious creatives and really start to go for the big time. But stage 1 of the journey will be on a documentary, which I think is planning to come out in early 2020. That documentary will give you a more in-depth version of what I've just spoken about. So for the rest of 2019, this is kind of just going to be me getting used to it and trying to play around and see what works, what doesn't work, and what you guys like. just finished a meeting with one of our clients. Turns out the second one was just cancelled, so it's back to the office.
Oh, all of these thresholds can hold me down. Push through.
So we've just arrived at Plymouth Station on our way to London. We're actually attending the Festival of Marketing on Thursday and Friday. That is just the innovation centre for marketing at the moment. It's where all the latest tech is, all the latest influencer marketing is, and some really great inspirational speakers. We just got on the train. It was late as always, but here's my little travel setup: iPad, protein, hat. I've just put one of those question things on my Instagram. I don't answer any of them on here, but I'm going to answer them on my video this week. So ask me anything business or personal related, and I'll answer them on the video. So I've just watched the Coldplay Head Full of Dreams documentary again on Amazon. If you know me, you won't be surprised, but I wanted to share with you something that I've found most inspirational from this. It was about Chris Martin saying that he was grateful for life and really trusting the process and where it's taken him. That internal self-locus of control is detrimental for success. Now, an internal locus of control is Greek Latin for believing that everything in your life happens because of you and not to you. That documentary actually inspired me to start documenting our own journey here right from the start, so everything that happens is in real time. We're still on the train. I'm doing some work at the moment for our Christmas campaign that's due to go out 1st November, but there'll be more information on that most of the time. So it's like, that could be a goal one day. Well, that just blows my mind.
Don't need to change.
So we've just arrived in London, 71 minutes late. First up, I'm probably going to get some food because I'm starving, and then we're going to have a little look around, so yeah, it should be fun. The signal here is really good. I think you get 5G here as well. I'm going to go and eat at a Lyon restaurant. I was going to go to McDonald's, but I'm an athlete. I'm just about to plan my route, where you want to go, your destination, and then it will tell you how to get there. So yeah, super good app. Also, when I'm eating, I'll answer some of your questions that I put onto my Instagram earlier. I'm going to go through and answer them now. So the first one is, what's your credit card number? Hold on, I'll get it. Best and worst parts of your job. Being an entrepreneur isn't for everybody, but it is a guaranteed way to self-discovery and really finding yourself, what you're good at, what you're bad at, finding stuff out about yourself personally and building on really great skills and characteristics and people skills, and it's all about culture at the end of the day. So yeah, it is the uncertainty. There is immense uncertainty. I cannot stress that enough. You know, I'm as likely to be a multi-millionaire in 5 years' time as I am to be completely broke. So you've got to really embrace that, and I'd encourage you all to think big from day one. So you've got to be able to prioritise this and have the consistency to follow it right the way through, because it will not happen overnight. It'll have to be about 10 years down the line when, you know, we've got a business that is really, really positively affecting the world and changing it both socially and culturally. That would be the dream, and to be able to help loads of people and mentor people on here, and also have a beautiful wife who I may or may not know yet, and kids that I'll love very dearly. A bit cringe, but I don't care. The ability to give my family the dream, basically, the American dream. Did you get in the business exam? I think that means GCSE, I don't know. I didn't actually do it, so technically nothing, I failed. Well, I didn't do it because these things change all the time. I didn't know this was what I wanted to do. I didn't know what an entrepreneur was 2 years ago. I had no idea. I didn't know the first thing about business. This isn't bragging, this is just me telling you, because hopefully I'll be able to help you in some sort of way. At the end of the day, it's all about information. If school's the way you learn, that's great. If being self-taught is the way you learn, that's great. If it's uni, it doesn't matter. And for the love of God, grades don't define you. So we're in the underground, on the way to Superdry and Apple, two of my favourite brands.
And I chase there's a river to the ends of the earth.
So at the moment we are going the wrong way. I'll go in to do some shopping because I'm alone for the next couple of hours. But more of the business side of it will come in tomorrow, so like do all the front end and creative and innovation hub of the business. So we've got a Tesla, baby. Look at that Tesla. Finally found it. Yeah. Let this be your first little bit of inspiration.
I speak of promised land, soil as soft as mama's hands, running water, standing still, endless fields of daffodils and chamomile, rice under black.
These stores are so similar to the ones in New York. They're just super cultural. So we could have stores like this one day, which we will, because we will work closely until we get there. That would just be a dream come true. You heard it here first, so yeah, let's do it together. We've just left Apple and on our way to Lacoste. And believe it or not, retail is actually something that I'm fascinated by, because even though I'm into design, it's like design but coming to life, and I do think retail will come back, and just to own retail and also the website design, and them two bounce off of each other. Good morning. We're on the way to the venue. We've got a big day, lots of meetings and conferences to attend and see what they're all about.
You got it, it's coming. So are you ready? Are you ready for your blessing?
Okay, so we've just finished day one. Super information though, super interesting. Look at that though. That is absolutely gorgeous. By the way, I wear all black, and also when I speak as well, because I don't know if you can hear me because of the wind. Apparently wearing all black is a psychological trigger for trust, authenticity, and increases productivity and creativity. Skyline of London. Mostly we were talking about the launch and rise of AI technology and how innovation's coming for all of us. It's super interesting to see what's next as well. But also a lot of them were just dressed in blazers and talking about data and statistics. And for me that's just a switch off. Because when I do my talks, I dressed all in black. I'm back in my heavy now, but I dressed all in black and only focus on storytelling, because people get bored of data and statistics, but no one gets bored of a good story. No one. But I still can't help feel that this industry is missing something massive, you know? So the main goal of this is to bring everyone's creativity and talents together and create something massive.
We are back. We have just finished. Currently at London, Paddington. Unfortunately, I'm on the iPhone because my camera seems to have died. But super interesting day. I actually met Fern Cotton, who's a TV presenter, and then Susanna Reid, who's also a TV presenter. Really interesting people actually. And what really changed my whole trajectory of marketing was how they were telling me that I should be making people feel 1 in a million, not 1 of a million. So yeah, today I've learnt a lot about making sure that the back end of the business is as creative as the front, because to have both the front and back end of the business creative is extremely important and detrimental to succeeding. So I am actually going to answer a few more of those questions that I put on my Instagram later. Also, here's a little first class problem for you, but I was meant to have a call with my mentor. Fortunately, I got confused because of the 5 of the US times compared to 1 of our UK time. So we're having that call Monday, so that's exciting. But overall, really great day. Met some great people, really inspirational ideas, and I always look forward to getting back after the trips away so I can implement my ideas into helping other people and seeing what we can do as a business to be better and what I can do to be better. But then equally, when I get home, I can't wait to come away to learn more and do the same. So I'll record the rest on my camera when we get back. But yeah, see you soon.
Right, so it's 8:30 on Saturday and we have just got back from the gym. Before I get down to work, I thought I'd answer a little more of your questions. Next one is, what's your work? My work is director of elite creativity, that is full-time. The next one is, would you live in London? Yes, I'd certainly be willing to give it a try, because one thing that I do love about London is that great things can happen. There's always loads of people, and see that as great opportunities, because you're sitting next to people on the tube, you're walking around next to people and you don't know their story, and that to me just fascinates me, how we can all come together and help each other. But also everyone's in their own bubble, and for those of you that know me well, I'm super introverted in many respects, and constantly thinking about how I can be better as a person and how we can create a business that will really, really change the world. But also, the place for me that I'm trying to get to is either New York or LA. I've not been to LA before, but New York I really love. I love the people and the culture, and the creativity that just surrounds you is really ethical and really, really uplifting. It's where I first got the idea to start Elite Creativity officially, and the courage and charisma to launch it. So yeah. So just quickly before I get to the office, I want to show you this, which is in my room here. So this is a Coldplay song that's a limited edition paint, which I find super inspiring. And I've also got quotes here, or random goals here, such as New York and London. And for me personally, whenever I dream of something, I set myself little goals, and when I achieve those goals, those little tiny goals which compound over time and create that massive end goal, I think to myself that actually I'm never going to reach my end goal, and I'm totally okay with that, because that end goal gets further and further away the more I achieve, the more knowledge I pick up, the more contacts I get, the more people I help, and equally the more people that help me. That goal then changes as it develops over time, and if there is ever a day where I look back and think I can stop there, that'll actually be quite a sad time for me. Anyway, back to the office. So we've just arrived back in our office, and so what I wanted to say was, to those of you that find this cringy, which I imagine and hope there are a fair few, actually so do I, because this will be a great item of self-reflection. As part of the reason why I'm doing this documentary thing, is what blows my mind is that my future kids, grandkids could actually be watching this right now and see how far I've come by hopefully the time they're around. It is midnight here in the office. It's Sunday morning now. I've been working here for a few hours, got a lot of stuff done. Let's just give you a little late night setup tour of my desk. So here, right, let's get it. First things first, these are just absolutely gorgeous. They are the best biscuits ever. And then I've got the chewing gum here. What have we got here? Oh, these are for the lights here. So I can change these. This is my favourite one here, really. That's just beautiful. So you can change them to any colour, which is pretty cool. Here are my business cards. This is the front. And that's the back. On my desk here, I've got, well, 4 screens. Actually 5. So this one is just purely for music and, well, entertainment, YouTube, etc. This one is the main one. So at the moment I've got my talk on here, the presentation that I use, which I'll show you bits of in a minute. So here I've got my iPad as well, which is just used as a split screen, really good, portable, versatile and ideal. Here I've got my phone, obviously, very important again. So we've got that, which then links up to the screen there. So if you haven't seen our website already, watch it. The link is on screen somewhere now. So this here is actually my inspiration more. Really great brands doing great things for the world and culture. Yeah, I have this up because I've been looking at these, studying them, and I highly recommend that you study your favourite brands, businesses and people. And if you put yourself and act in a way, adopt some of their characteristics that you like, a few people or brands, over time that will really start to change the whole trajectory of your life. So the last thing that I'm going to leave you with tonight is going to be 5 goals which I hope to achieve by the end of the 4th quarter of this year, by the end of 2019. We're in the last 80 years, Christ no, we're not in the last 80 years. We are in the last 80 days of 2019. We cannot wait to see what 2020 has in store. We've got some great things that we're going to be releasing and announcing. So the first one is a business one, and it is to find co-founders. Now, these co-founders can be any of the ones on the screen, but as long as they've got the right personality traits, because anything can start from a good person who wants to do good things for the world, good things for themselves, but more importantly, even better things for others. The rest we can train up. You'll be traveling everywhere together as we collaborate and see what we can install and how we can work together and kind of balance out the business, so they can focus on what they're good at and I can focus on what I'm good at. So the second one, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit anxious to share because I can already hear the backlash from it, because being honest is what this is all about. So I've just written down here, so the third one is 3 questions that I want to ask myself daily. Number 1 is, what do you see in the world that you want to solve? Number 2 is, what are 3 things that are going to move you closer to your goals today? So these may be goals that you wish to achieve by the end of the year, or more longer term, but start with the big goals and then work, be the best advice, and then work your way down backwards to really take time to diagnose the small goals, so then you can break down and really take time to code what's going to move you closer to where you want to be in life. Number 3 is, last but certainly not least, am I taking care of myself? Now this is both mentally and physically. Now I go to the gym, so I think I take care of myself physically, but also I tend to work a lot. I do tend to go for like the 80-90 hour work weeks. That is a hell of a lot. But the thing is, and it means you're alone a lot, but the thing is, I'm incredibly good at being alone and working. Now that isn't necessarily a healthy relationship, but at the start of the journey, it's kind of something where I just think I have to grit my teeth and get down and get on with it if I want to get to where I want to be in 5-10 years to come. So also, I've got 3 things to tell yourself daily. Today is the most important day of our lives. Now that is true. There is no time like the present. As cliche as that sounds, whatever you want to do it today. Start today, make a start today. It doesn't mean you have to publish or put it out into the world, but it means make a start. Read that book, do that research, do it, because you'll thank yourself. Trust me. Number 2 is be a game changer. The world is already full of players. Number 3 is your daily habits and routines shape your future. Adopt the behaviours needed to succeed. Now, I don't actually have a routine because personally I don't believe routines are good for creativity. I think it's important to be spontaneous. Of course you've got to, brush your teeth every day, but I do think it's important to get into the small daily habits, but don't overdo your routine. Do you see what I'm saying? So the next thing I'm going to talk about is things to unlearn. Number 1 is working hard is all routes to success. No, it's not. It's all about working smart. You can work incredibly hard, and yet innovation will come and wipe you out. Or you can work smart and work with an innovation, adapt to it, adapt to that culture of AI and that $1 million mindset, and that will create you tremendous opportunities going forward. The second one is I have to be alone to be productive. That is what I've let myself believe over the last course of the year. This is part of the reason why we've launched our startup team, is because collaboration is the key to productivity and success. So number 3 is fear. The only thing to fear is fear itself. So as overused as that is, it's true. Fear is just an illusion. You were not born with fear. You learnt fear, so therefore you can unlearn fear. 4th one is waiting. Especially millennials, we are the on-demand generation. We do not have to wait to watch TV. When we've got stuff like YouTube, Netflix, we can watch it whenever we want. We've got Amazon Prime. We can get stuff delivered without actually leaving the house. So I do not believe in waiting, and that's for anything. I am incredibly impatient, but also if I start to see stuff slowly progress, then I can cope with that. But when nothing progresses, that's when I think, no, this isn't right.
Elliot, over to you.
Isn't it funny that growing up, some of our biggest weaknesses and deformities are actually responsible for our greatest successes later on in life? And through this, I realised it was all about the smart work over the hard work. And it was all about adapting to this process called lateral thinking, which really enabled you to take a problem, figure out new ways to find out how you can get out of a box that people are struggling to get out with, and in return create great solutions for problems that everyone would solve. Thanks.
Yeah, like how hard is it to set up your business and that?
If you enjoy what you're doing and you do it with great passion and consistency, then it makes it less hard. It's probably the most mentally challenging thing that you will ever do. So through the good times and the bad times, you've got to be able to stay level-headed.
How much did it cost to set all of that up? So I imagine it was quite pricey.
It actually wasn't, to be honest, because I had my phone and I had my computer. So I figured out that I would just start from scratch from where I was. So I paid for the website software, which was only £160. So in theory, the whole investment in the business was about £160 or £200. Okay, so I've just finished my first solo public speaking appearance, and yeah, it went alright, I think. But we're just on our way to our first meeting of the day at Theatre Royal. So actually also, well, I remember
I was on the phone to my mentor last night, and he actually invited me out to an event in New York this week coming, but unfortunately I can't go because of visa and passport issues. So he's actually invited me out to something in LA next month. So I don't know if I can go yet, but super excited about that if that happens. And I'm just doing some work now. And it's raining because it's Plymouth, so of course it's raining. But someone actually asked me, do I find it weird that I'm going back to college to a business class to speak about how I'm building a business? And I don't, because it's purely about how you obtain and gather information. That could be through college or university or school, or it could be through an apprenticeship or a job, or it could be self-taught, or it could be shadowing a mentor. So no, I don't find it weird, because equally I'll learn from them, as I learned a hell of a lot from that first solo public experience. So I'm actually going to end this video here. Thanks for watching, but I look forward to sharing this next phase of the business and of the journey with you. But as I said at the start of this video, we've actually got a series that we're working on where I'm going to document phase 1 of the business and all of the lead up to that. So more depth and insight into what I'm actually talking about as well when I go around doing talks. So I'm super excited to share that. So the startup team is also available. We've got a lot coming, believe me, we've got a lot, and I cannot wait to share it with you and to share it with the world. Some really exciting times ahead, and that will start right now.
I was born